How y'all doing? This is Antar Golar with another episode of Going After New Goals. I am here with Johnai Collins, the owner of Royalty Cuts. So could you tell us a little bit about your business, like as far as your story of how you started it?
Okay, see, back when I was like 12 years old, I started making money doing hair for like my family members and my sisters and my brothers. They used to start paying me to do their hair. So then eventually I started saving like $10. $10 became $100. And then, so on and so forth. So throughout my middle school years, my high school years, I did hair to make extra money. Mm-hmm. So when I turned 21, after I had my son, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try to get my license because I had kind of brushed off cosmetology school.
Okay.
Because right after high school, I was cosmetology school, but I just partied the whole time. I had so much fun. But
as college students do.
Yeah, it was like I didn't think I was gonna have that much fun in cosmetology school. So after I turned 21 and had my son, I went to barber school and finished that, completed that, passed with an A, practical A with my written B. So it was cool. So I didn't waste no time doing that. Got into the shop immediately. I was working at Walmart at the time, and I gave them my 2 weeks notice. They said, "What you about to do?" I said, "Different career," because I'm not with the people controlling my time.
Yeah,
I do it for a little bit, but I couldn't see myself having a lifetime of somebody controlling my time. It just wasn't me. So after working for Justin at Straight Edge Barbershop, I decided to get my own barbershop. My cousins approached me to get the barbershop on 13th Street, and I thought about it, and then I was like, it'd be a good idea for me to invest in myself now. It was the time. 25 years old. Shoot, I use my income taxes money to invest in myself. Instead of blowing it off. So that's what I did. I used that income tax money and had to do what I had to do.
And how long ago was that since you opened up the shop?
That was 2012.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was 2012.
Going on 8 years now.
Yeah, 8 years in March.
So where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Wichita, Kansas.
Are you?
Born and raised,
Okay.
Wichita, Kansas, Southside, Plainview. Spent all my years all the way up to 5th grade there, and then moved to the north side, Alpha Grove, 9th and Grove, and went to Ingalls. So that's kind of when I kind of opened up to how the north side was versus Plainview.
So
more blacks.
By not working for somebody else, is that what made you start your own shop?
Yes.
You wanted that kind of freedom of your own time?
Yes, and I was putting a lot of energy and time into other people's businesses, and I figured that's what they do. They use people to get what they want,
Yeah.
So why not I use my energy to get what I want, the way I want it to be structured, the way I want it to be paid. I can take vacations. I don't have to put a 2 weeks notice with nobody except for myself,
Exactly.
So yeah, that kind of like pushed me to work for myself because didn't feel right for somebody to control my time.
Yeah. So tell us how you came up with the name of your business.
Royalty Cuts came from royalty because I feel like I'm a part of God's royal family. And I just like for people to feel that same type of way, like in a royal environment with good customer service, nice people around them, good music, just a comfort zone of being in the midst of royalty, because I feel that I am somebody, so I'm somebody of a higher status.
Yes.
Because the way I think, I just think like that.
And that's the kind of culture that you're trying to present to your customers when they come in, or like a royal experience.
Yep. Get them open up to, bigger things in life.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. As far as being a hair salon owner, what motivates you?
What motivates me is being able to make somebody else feel good about themselves. Like just a simple hairstyle can make somebody feel like $1,000,000. And that hour of my time to make them feel good, it's like a lifetime of good feelings that I get out of making them look good. You know, whether they hairstyle lasts for a month, 2 months, 2 weeks, it's just that feeling of them feeling like that little bit of stress they ain't got to worry about is their hair. So that makes me feel good.
So tell me, what advice would you give to someone who wanted to start their own business in the hair salon business?
I would tell them to make sure they have their overhead, because when people start a business, they just start and they have money right then and there, so they'll start it and then they'll have money for their first 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I say have your overhead, have at least a year of your overhead paid or save up until you have a year, because a year you ain't got to worry about your lights, electric, and all that. Because when you open a business, you're just not going to get constant, right there customers.
Yeah.
Like the first day, you ain't going to get 50 customers. Second, no. It's going to be a process. So take care of your overhead first and make sure you know what you want. And don't let people discourage you on what you want to do. Let them give you ideas, but my thing is, people that don't really have nothing always got something to say for you to make yourself better. So as long as you do what you got to do, yeah.
Could you explain what overhead is to people that may not know what that is?
Yeah, overhead is like your rent, your insurance, your water, your electric, your gas to get to work, a vehicle. Like all of that, I would consider your overhead. Oh, and especially if you open a business, you gotta have money to advertise. That's the most thing you gotta do. So those is like maybe like 8 basic things that you must have, to me, when you're trying to cover your overhead.
Well, since you brought up marketing and advertisement, what is your marketing plan and strategy that you use for your business?
Okay, word of mouth is the biggest thing, because people always talking and then they're like, oh, I need somebody to do my hair. Oh, well, I know Johnai. But the first thing of that is my customer service techniques. Customers are always right. I listen to them all the time before I do anything. I make sure I understand where they're coming from, and I have to understand how they feel when they come in. Because if they ain't feeling too right and they're getting here, I have to kind of pace myself. So that's the one thing. So customer service is the number one thing. I use Facebook a lot. Those ads that you see for $5-10, I use that a lot. eBay, I get cards, flyers, I do radio. I'm trying to do commercials. That's my next step, is doing commercials. But I'm telling people. I just tell people too. I don't just go out and say something, but I kind of listen, got the ear. Somebody needs services. Oh, here's my card.
Right,
you know?
right. Stay
I don't
ready.
force myself on them like, oh, you need your hair done. No, they just kind of like let it flow. So you got to do all that.
How have you built your successful customer base over the years?
Just like I said, me treating my clients good, and then they'll tell somebody else. And then my barbershop people be driving by like, oh, I didn't know what this was. I just wanted to come in and see what was going on.
Okay.
And then that's how I get it too, because being not so right there, but there, it kind of draws people in more like that too.
So what are 3 things that run in your business that you've learned over the years?
To take time to listen. It's not good to always have to talk all the time. It's good to listen. Open my mind to bigger things, just right there. Think of strategies on how to connect with my community, connect with people that don't have things in their lifetime, would never think that they would have something in their lifetime, like would connect with them. I think it's just patience.
Okay.
Yeah, patience.
Tell me, what are some of the mistakes you wish you could have avoided
I don't really say mistakes. I would say, like with hiring people, getting more information out of them instead of being like, oh, passive with everybody. Like
Information like
information
what?
like their work history,
Okay.
their work ethics. Like when I first started, I was like, oh, I'll let anybody will come in there,
Okay.
but then they'll last for 2 weeks or a month. But then I didn't look back on their work history to know. So that's kind of like one of the mistakes I felt like I learned from because they were taking my ideas and go and put it into what they have.
Wow.
Which I didn't care, but the way if I would have did it right and they would have been real and most honest about what they wanted to do in life, I could kind of help them do what they needed to do. So that was kind of one of my mistakes of not knowing enough information.
Okay. And so when that happened, like, how did you deal with that? They just quit working, and you just, I mean, you could obviously kept going because you had your own shop. Did you just look? Do you look for new employees, or do they more so come to you looking for a spot to work in?
It's both ways. I go to the barber schools and pass out flyers to have people work for me, and then on Facebook I advertise that on the marketplace. They have a little job place I put in there.
Oh,
okay. And then word of mouth. Word of mouth is like excellent. If people know that you're trying to do what you got to do, and they see that people keep coming in and out, that ain't worth it. If they see somebody that's like, oh, go up to talk to Johnai, she'll hook you up. So it's just those things. Being, like I'm saying, having a good business, not all the riffraff in and out, just being consistent.
Right. How many hours do you think you work a week?
I think I work about, okay, so this is how we do this. I'll be at my shop all the time. I probably work about maybe 30 hours a week. About 30.
Yeah, well, it's hours that you pick.
Yes. So, but I'm, like I said, I'm always at work, but I'm just working all the time, seriously. Because if it ain't my barber shop, it's my thrift store. So it's like, 24/7.
So over the years, I've noticed you've had a lot of different events that you host in your shop. And how do you generate these new ideas, and what is the purpose behind them?
I generated them from learning from different people that has things going on that I want to have going on in my shop. Like, you learn from people that's doing stuff, and that's where I pick up some different ideas from people that's already doing it and is successful at doing it. And then what I like to get out of it is because I like to meet people. Okay. In certain situations, I've met people that didn't have other people to support them from what they did, only from them coming into my shop for an event, and then they're like, "Oh, you cool," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm cool,"
Right? Like, you ain't know,
right? And so then they get to talking, and then I'm like, "Oh, see, I love that. I love when people share with me stuff that they like don't want to share with other people because it's so much judgmental things." So I get out of it friendship, loving one another. And I just love people. My love for people.
Was it kind of like therapy for some people?
Yes. See, that's a part of being a barber is that you listen. Like I said, listen, and then you just give them your best advice, not directing them to do something, just your feeling about it. So it is therapy for me too, because I've learned from people from different walks of life. So it's even therapy for me too as well.
Okay. Tell me how being an entrepreneur affected your family life.
It's affected my family life because I'm getting my kids to be entrepreneurs themselves. Okay. I don't know if you noticed, my daughter got some toys outside on the shelf. She's trying to sell some toys today.
Oh, is that what was going on?
Yes. Okay. She's like, let's move up to the street. I'm like, no. Yeah. So, with me having kids, I felt like they need to have that characteristic as well, because once you plant a seed and it grows, it can spread good weeds or it can spread bad weeds.
True.
So
True.
with them being little entrepreneurs themselves, that's how it affected my family. Really in a very good way. Very good way.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that the kids is out there trying to sell some products outside to the neighbors' kids.
Yeah.
Tell me, what keeps you focused on your day-to-day schedule?
Knowing that when I'm dead and gone, my kids will have something to show for. Like, I just want them to have something, so when they get older, they'll have something that I've planted for them, so then they can start that generation of making sure you sow a seed for your generations to come.
Yeah, kind of giving that leg up.
Yeah.
I see. That's pretty good information right there. What are 3 skills that you say are needed to be a successful entrepreneur?
Dedication.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah. You got to have determination. And you got to have motivation. And one thing you have to do is you have to learn how to have a meditation, whether it's you go to church or whether it's meeting with other people that kind of clear your head, clear your mind. You also got to do that because you always have to have time for yourself.
Okay.
That was 4, but...
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. What has been your greatest inspiration since you've opened your shop?
My greatest inspiration has been my kids.
Yeah.
Yep. My kids. And making sure that I can provide for not just my kids, like my whole entire family. So when I get to that point, then I can kind of be like a source of income to help them out. The ones that need help and they need something I can help them with instead of like, I ain't got it, you know.
So since you brought that up, how has being an entrepreneur affected your relationship with your friends and your family?
I don't really think it affected that much, but I'm kind of a person that don't mind being to myself because a whole bunch of people don't see my ideas, and that's kind of the reason why I'm like really is not a lot of people in my family are entrepreneurs because their lifestyle is different from my lifestyle. I'd rather put time for myself than somebody else.
True.
So I mean, like in some way, it's like people don't really want to fool with you because they see that you're doing something that they always want to do. I don't know why, because they can do it also.
Right.
But it is what it is with that part.
So do you consider yourself a risk taker?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because I'm going to do what I got to do to get something done. Okay. And if it takes about 20 no's, I know one person might say yes, but at those 20 no's, I'm not going to feel salty about anything. I got to keep pushing if I want what I want out of life. Because can't nobody give me what I want. I can only give myself what I want. So
what's unique about your business compared to any other shop in town?
I think what's unique is that I'm a female barber that can cut hair, braid hair, style hair, and I can kind of connect with anybody. I don't walk around here like I'm better than anybody, and I'm just like a down to earth, homey person. Like when people come to my shop, this is homey. Yeah, I mean, feel comfortable. That's what makes me unique. I make people feel comfortable.
That's very true. So when things get tough at the shop, like how do you keep going? Or maybe not just at the shop, just in life. Like how do you keep going?
Because, for instance, people that's in foreign countries, overseas and stuff, they can't do half the stuff that I'm doing. They're not able to do it.
Could you elaborate on that?
Okay, some women cannot own their own business in different countries. Okay. Some people can't even go outside without somebody controlling their time. Yeah. And I feel like I'm not in a country like that, so I'm going to try to take advantage of me being in the United States. So I just feel like if you know better, you'll do better. And some people out here ain't got it. And if you got the motivation to do it, you need to.
Are you using your experiences being in America as like motivation for maybe those women across the globe that can't do what you do, and maybe one day they can look to you as motivation, be like, I can do that one day. One day I'm on my own shop.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's incredible.
And not just women, just men too.
Yeah.
Men that somebody told them that they were never going to be nothing in their lifetime, because there are people like that too. Just for anybody.
So tell me, how do you define success?
I define success as accomplishing goals. If you accomplish a goal of saving up money to get you a car, that's success. It's like being successful, bettering your life, to get a little bit more out of life. To me, it's successful. Because that's what you want. You want more. Some people don't, but that's being successful. Going above your comfort zone to achieve what you want.
Yeah, getting out your comfort zone, right? Pushing yourself. That's straight up. Have you ever turned down a client, and if so, what was the situation?
I've turned down clients that come in my shop and ask for extremely too many things and look at me crazy when I tell them the price. And then after they make you feel uncomfortable, like you in the wrong, and then want to like compromise, then I'm like, nah, you can take your service elsewhere.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So you just straight up to the point. Well, can you tell me one of your most memorable moments as an entrepreneur?
I would say this is kind of like a memorable moment for me. Because I've been in business for 8 years. A lot of people haven't been successful in 8 years, and some people get overlooked, and they do a lot for this community and try to be better for themselves. So for you to take the time out to actually notice what I do, this is kind of like a real memorable moment for me.
Can you tell me what has been your least favorite part about being an entrepreneur?
I don't think I have a least favorite part.
No?
Nope, because I wouldn't change it for nothing. And I don't have the least favorite part, because with me trying to better my life, I think that's a very, very good thing. And there's nothing least about the situation that I can take for granted, because every moment of it, I take it as if I did not have to be in this situation. So, I've heard that too. I've heard that it seems to be a theme among entrepreneurs. So what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't running a shop, a hair salon? Running a thrift store.
Yeah.
Or doing like I'm doing, starting making my music, starting to write music, and having a huge daycare in a whole strip mall. So if I might not have to be a barbershop, I might have owned the whole strip mall that has a barbershop. That's what I'll be doing.
Big dream, big dream.
Yes, so give me a few years.
Are you able to attend networking events, things of that nature? Would you recommend that for people that want to get in business?
Yep. I've attended a few network events. When I went to Vegas, I attended one too, and that's one reason why I do my live streams, because they say people need to be indirect, like they need to see you doing these things instead of talking it. They actually need to see you being an entrepreneur, have your own shop on a daily basis. It just gives them more time to connect with you. So So since you've been open for almost a decade, can you let us into some of your formula for being successful? Just like when I said previously in the interview, being motivated, knowing that my ancestors were trying to fight for my rights to be able to do what I want, like seriously. Like I'm very in touch with them paving the way for me. So that being dedicated, staying grounded, you have to stay grounded because if you don't, then you get a little big headed and you don't want to listen to nobody and you think you got all the answers. I mean, every day of your life is a learning experience.
Right.
You know, so it's just like, man, motivation. And one thing you gotta know is get that pen and that paper and jot down things. I date things from back in 2012 and I look back at it and I'm like, check mark. I done did this about 20 times already now. Like, so that's a very good thing to start is getting you a pen and a paper and writing that stuff down. That paper trail. It'll help you for real.
Okay. Can you tell us what kind of other products and services you offer at your store?
Yes, I have a natural hair oil. It's called Reese Delight. I named that from my mother, and I put the delight on there because it just supposed to delight your scalp in your skin. It's for nurturing of your scalp and stimulation of your hair, and I use all natural products to do it. And recently I had a client come in there and told me she uses it for her acne. So then that kind of opened up my mind a little to it just keeps going and going, So I'm like, oh, okay. So I offer that. I also offer facials, which a lot of people don't know. Is I offer facials. If you have any kind of face discomfort, come see me. I can help you with that too. And I can always hook you up with the best products. If I don't have it, I always let people know where they can get it.
Okay.
Yeah. So my consultation and all that is free, and I offer free consultation too.
So I know you've bought different things from me over the years, as far as like my signs that I sell. But do you do any other things that like help the community or bring community awareness to certain situations?
Yeah. For the last year, I've been going downtown and helping a nonprofit organization. They set up and they feed the homeless or feed people that don't have that much. And I just set up there and give me a chair. People has donated clippers to me. So I got some wireless clippers so I can go out there and cut their hair.
Wow,
yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Like last time, it was probably like 8 people, and when they were shutting down, people were still trying to sit down. But I was like, like, give me one more minute. So yeah, that's one thing that I just love to do is give back to people that don't have anything because people always say they can better their situation, but it's not my judgment to judge their situation. Right. I just know that I can cut hair and I don't mind cutting for free, and I'll give back and help out with the community.
So why will customers come back and do business with you?
Because they like my customer service. The environment of my barbershop is really nice, and you don't have to worry about a whole bunch of soliciting. Just a whole bunch of good vibes and a happy place to be within that 30 minutes that you're there. Some clients stay for 2 hours, but that's I don't knock them for that. They ain't got nothing to do. I don't care. But they come get their hair cut. But then after that, they just like to come back. Yeah. And I see them like they like to come back because they... Like 8 years, they like to come back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell me, do you have a mentor, or did you just jump right into this right after you quit working?
I have a mentor. My auntie Wanda Hunt. She's with Jada May Support Service Institute. She's always had that business mind frame. And to go out and go get it, trying to, maneuver things around. So I kind of picked up on her business part of it. And I was like, oh, I would like to be control of my time, Yes. Just like she was control of her time. I was like, I want to have control of my time. And then really me watching movies, black movies back in the day and now. Seeing them black women be from like nothing to something.
Mm-hmm.
They've all been my like mentors. And, like I research, I research Madam C.J. Walker. She ain't alive, but she's also have been my mentor.
I think they're working on a movie for her now too.
That's good because she like really like man, her motivation was like out of this world. So, so I just have different mentors from different parts of my life.
Are there any activities that you would suggest business people or up and coming people that want to be in business start doing now to prepare them later for being an entrepreneur?
Yes, I would say the first thing you have to do is make you some flyers.
Yeah.
Make you some flyers. Yes. If it's just a little bitty piece of paper or your number on there and then what you do, make you something because people ain't going to think like, oh, well, you do this. They don't know that. But if you start letting them know, then they can kind of tell you or point you in a direction that you should go.
That's
so,
true.
yeah, I say start by advertising yourself now.
That's true. So tell me, how can people reach you?
They can reach me at my business line at 316-806-9818 between the hours of 9 and about 9:30 p.m. So 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. they can reach me at that number. Or they can come by my shop. I'm there about basically 7 days a week. If you see my blue card or if you see the lights on, I'm there. And that's 3912 East 13th Street North. And that's the black and white strip mall, the old Shoppers Lounge. That's what people connect me to when I say where I'm at.
And what's your social media contact?
My social media contact is Johnai, and that's Johnai Collins. And that's Facebook. You can catch me on Instagram on that too. You can catch me on YouTube at Johnai Collins also. And Snapchat. You can catch me on Snapchat too as well under Lady Barber 316. So, yeah.
I appreciate you doing this interview with me, and that will conclude today's episode of Going After New Goals. Go check out Royalty Cuts, y'all. Get some braids or get a fade, or just go down there and show her some support, man. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.